Hey, yo, King Fight News, back at it. Showtime Shawn Porter just got owned by the World Boxing Council, the WBC. They just got totally owned, man. They put their money down. They were given what was considered a mandatory position, and that just got taken away from them. And now Danny Garcia is the #1 rated fighter on the WBC welterweight rankings. More on this story, guys. King Fight News. That's right. Shawn Porter just got dropped to the #2 ranked fighter in the welterweight division. Man, these guys gotta wake up. Boxers need to realize they have no control over the ranking system. They can be put into an eliminator after eliminator after eliminator, but it doesn't mean shit unless you are the mandatory. And even then, that can be taken away. Mandatories can be taken away, guys. Y'all don't even know. And I'm not gonna sit here and show sympathy and, you know, try and expose the WBC. Man, they've been doing this for years upon years. Many fighters have been shafted. When's the last time Floyd Mayweather Jr. fought a mandatory? When's the last time? I just pulled a Coach Sheldon Harrison because I didn't want to. I almost pulled up PG-13. Nah, man. But when's the last time Floyd Mayweather pulled a mandatory and had to fight? Who was his mandatory back in the day? Who was his mandatory? Y'all even remember? Who was it? It was a dude from Argentina. The guy that Tim Bradley beat. That was Floyd's mandatory for the longest time. Man, don't even get me started on this bullshit. So, here we are. And guess what? Shawn Porter gets shafted by the World Boxing Council. And Danny Garcia gets the rub. Now we're talking about the World Boxing Council, right? Where are they based out of? This is a organization out of Mexico. The whole purpose of the WBC is to hit up Mexican fighters and put them and give them the rub. Push them to the top. Look at Canelo Alvarez, what they did with him. Look what they did with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. What they did with him. According to them, Oscar De La Hoya never did a bad thing in his life. It's blatantly obvious. When it comes right down to it, the WBC is always gonna favor, what it considers to be fighters of its own heritage. That's just the truth of the matter. So why waste your fucking time when you got a sanctioning body out of the United States of America called the International Boxing Federation that has an American world champion? That American went over to the UK, broke Kell Brook's eye socket, snatched that title, strap season, man down, and who wanted no parts of Errol Spence? All you motherfuckers. Shawn Porter wanted no parts of Errol Spence. Thurman wants no parts of Errol Spence. Danny Garcia wants no parts of Errol Spence. He might say it in an interview, but when it come down to signing a contract, he want no parts of no Errol Spence, man. We already know this. So I got no sympathy for a Shawn Porter. I got no sympathy at all, man. No sympathy at all. I mean, dude got paid $1 million to beat Andre Berto. I'm not saying Andre Berto's a bum, but goddamn, I mean, Soto Karass knocked that dude out, man, for real. So and I see what's going on. I ain't gonna front like I don't see what's going on. Shawn Porter been fighting these middle of the road guys, the Granadoses, the Bertos, and he's been waiting on Keith Thurman to get out of the bed and fucking make a fight happen. But what he doesn't understand, what Shawn Porter doesn't get is he should have realized when he confronted Keith Thurman and he asked Keith Thurman, hey, when can we make this fight happen? When? Give me a month. Give me a date. And Keith Thurman was fucking speechless, man. He was just like, oh man, you know, talk to Al Heyman. What Shawn Porter had to do? I mean, he should have known right then and there Keith Thurman didn't want to go through a rematch. You think Keith Thurman went through hell and back trying to beat Shawn Porter? He went through hell and back. A lot of people think Shawn Porter won that fight. I thought it was a very close fight that could have gone either way. To be honest, in a parallel universe, Shawn Porter might be the WBC champion right now. He might be. But, the thing about legacy is, it doesn't matter how many belts you hold, but it's how you hold that belt. I mean, look at what Errol Spence is doing right now. He's got the whole division shook, and guys like Shawn Porter have to deal with the system as well. And part of the problem is this kind of favoritism, but it's been going on in boxing for years upon years. You know how they say, in some cases, they say you got to make a deal with the devil. But in other cases, there's another saying. They say it's better you deal with the devil you know than the devil you don't know. If you know what I mean. It's better not to deal with devils at all, but if you're going to have to deal with a devil, it better be the one you know compared to the one you don't know. And Shawn Porter, he knew that devil, that IBF devil, because he held that title. He held that title and lost it to Kell Brook. But he tried to deal with a new devil in the WBC. Oh yeah, you put some money down for some eliminators, huh? You put some money down for that shit, huh? They got you. They got you, buddy. And that's how that goes, man. That's just how that goes. Either you do good business or you do bad business. But when you take part in the ducking in boxing, and I'm talking about the blatant freezing out. You want to talk about freeze outs? And shout out to Anthony Joshua, because he just coined the term freeze out. It seems like Errol Spence is in the same spot that Guillermo Rigondeaux was in back when all these champions in 122, 126 won no parts of no Guillermo Rigondeaux. And Errol Spence is in that same situation, and he's holding a title. These guys don't want... if Shawn Porter, the word is he turned down a fight with Errol Spence. According to Errol Spence, everybody that got that call, everybody in the PBC got that call to see if they wanted to fight Errol Spence, and not one of them took him up. I mean, when you get offered a title shot and you don't have a title and you claim you want to fight the best, you think you'd jump at that opportunity. But guess what? He felt like the WBC got their back. Well, guess what? Now you just got a wake-up call, yeah? So WBC fucked over fucked over Shawn Porter. No apologies over here, man. No sympathy over here. EkinghFightNews, we're keeping it absolutely 100. You ducked Errol Spence, and you gotta let the chips fall where they fall, man. That's just how it is. That's just how it goes. As far as what I want to see next, it's so obvious what the move should be. The WBC should make an Errol Spence. No, this was the other point I was going to make. Sorry. The WBC obviously should make a Shawn Porter, Danny Garcia fight as an eliminator for the #1 absolute mandatory spot. But for whatever reason, they don't want to do that. Does Keith Thurman have something to do with that? I'm just going to leave that out there. But in my opinion, when you get offered a title fight and then you tell the fans, hey, the IBF doesn't have me in their rankings, but you just got offered a title fight, didn't you? Or, okay, if I am wrong about this, then I'm wrong, and I will admit fault. If Shawn Porter did not turn down an Errol Spence fight at any given fucking time after that Kell Brook loss, then I'm wrong. But the word is he did, and he ducked out of that Errol Spence. He didn't want that work. And his excuse was, we're not ranked in the IBF. Okay. That's fine. You're not ranked in the IBF. And you want to stay ranked in the WBC, right? Well, you didn't realize it right now. The WBC does whatever the fuck they want to do. So, there are things called exemptions out there that I'm quite sure you can file for an exemption. Just like any other fighter wants to do a therapeutic use exemption. Those are out there if you want to get juiced. They're out there. I'm not going to sit here and act like it's not out there. There are all kinds of exemptions. There's exemptions from mandatories if you want to fight a unification fight. Isn't there? Isn't there? So, if Shawn Porter wanted to go over to the IBF, beat Errol Spence, hypothetically, because you're the man, you're Showtime Shawn Porter. You take on all comers. You grab that strap. You don't have to worry about mandatories, because a unification fight with a Keith Thurman, which would be highly anticipated, should absolutely happen. You don't even have to worry about the rankings. Who gives a shit about... Right, the second fighters start talking about rankings like it's the be-all, end-all, that is ducking language. That's language that will only support ducking. Okay? That's just the way it is. I mean, I told Ego this shit, and he took a half hour out of his day to show me the IBF rankings. And I said, okay, the rankings are fucked. Doesn't mean he's not ducking. And that's how it is. You can't fight these, man. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Y'all know what it is.